We want to factorize the following. So we have x squared plus 9x plus 20. Now, the way to go about this, or one way to go about it, is we look for two numbers that multiply to give us 20 and add to give us 9. Now, you shouldn't need to look for too long to see that those numbers would be 4 and 5. And if it's a more complicated example, we could do the following. So we know that 20 could be 20 times 1, or it could be 2 times 10, or it could be 4 times 5. And then we list them out and choose the one that's going to give us the right addition. And quite simply, that then factorizes to x plus 4, x plus 5. And you know how to expand, so you can always check that you get this back. Now we can do the same sort of thing here. We've got x squared minus 5x plus 6. So we look for numbers that multiply to give us 6, which is the number on its own, and add to give us negative 5, which is the coefficient of x. So it was the same thing here. We multiplied to give the number on its own. We added to get the coefficient of x. So what's going to do that? So let's think about this 6. Well, we can get 1 times 6, and we can have 2 times 3. We've got to add to negative 5, so it's probably going to be negatives, negative 1 and negative 6, negative 2 and negative 3. And these would add to give me negative 5. So it's going to be negative 2 and negative 3. And so I can say x minus 2, x minus 3. And that's it factorized. And again, as I said with the first one, you can always re-expand and just make sure that you get this. Now with this one, we've got a common factor of 2 in the x squared term, the x term, and the constant term. So do that first, and then that will be minus 5x minus 6. And then we only need to worry about factorizing the x squared minus 5x minus 6. It keeps the number smaller if we can take out the common factor. So we want to multiply to get negative 6 this time. That tells us one of our numbers will be positive and the other one negative, and add to give negative 5. So 1 times 6, 2 times 3. If we want to add to get, negative 5, then probably it's going to be the negative 6 and the positive 1 will do it. Remember, we can't do it with this one, because 1 needs to be positive, 1 needs to be negative. So that looks like 1 and negative 6. Now don't forget, we need that 2 in front, and then we've got 2 brackets, and the brackets will contain x plus 1 and x minus 6. And again, you could re-expand that to make sure you get the right answer.